Hey guys, welcome to the channel today. My name is Kyle Kargas. Here we talk everything real estate, business, and personal development. Today, I will be walking you through the steps to a real estate transaction. From start to finish, whether you're a buyer, a seller, an investor, there are some general steps to this transaction. I get asked this all the time. So many people feel overwhelmed. This is one of the biggest purchases, biggest things that they do in their life. There's a lot of money on the line, and it makes them nervous. Today, we're gonna be going over those steps. There are 4 steps to the real estate transaction. The main goal of this is to help ease the nerves, give us confidence. Most people, you sell or buy a home once, 2, or maybe even a 3rd time in their lifetime, right? We learn through experience. So even though you won't be buying or selling a home any extra times, you can watch this video to help you get the confidence and avoid any costly mistakes. Personally, I have done lots of these transactions. I have bought lots of homes myself, both as my primary residence. I have rental properties, we have an Airbnb, and we flip homes. So we do a lot of these transactions on a personal level and our business. However, I'm also a real estate agent. If you do need help, don't hesitate. Please reach out to me at kargasteam.com. We can help you buy or sell as well. There are 4 steps to a transaction. Step number 1 is to actually have a contract. Don't do things by word of mouth. Those won't be held up in court. It's not that you can't necessarily have an actual contract that's oral. However, it's how you're going to enforce said contract. So in the real estate industry, it needs to be in writing, right? Buyer and seller must sign, and they must exchange and all have a copy of a fully executed contract for that contract to be official and to be, quote, under contract or pending. I highly recommend using a realtor who can help you use the Arizona Purchase Agreement. This comes with a lot of experience. It is the Arizona Realtors Association that has created this contract. It goes through many revisions over time. There are all the real estate agents' experiences throughout time in Arizona where they have adjusted this so that way to protect both the buyer and seller, to make sure things go smoothly and things aren't forgotten, and to protect your money. So step 1, have a written contract. Step number 2 is the home inspection. If you use the Arizona Purchase Agreement, it defaults to a 10-day home inspection. The moment you put down your earnest money, the 10-day inspection will begin. If you're using your own contract, you can have however many days that between you and the seller or buyer, right, negotiate. Now, this is your time for the buyer to go through, hire a home inspector, hire any other contractors that they would like, have them come take a look at the property and make sure that it is in the condition that they expect it to be, right? If there are any differences, at the end of the 10-day or whenever they're done, they will send in their request to the seller requesting that things be repaired in order for them to move forward. They will request either the repairs to be done or a price can be negotiated, a certain amount of money in lieu of doing those repairs. Sometimes a lender can demand that the certain repairs be done rather than a credit or amount of money being given. If they don't find any, they can just move forward past this step, letting them know that they accept the property in the as-is condition. There are some circumstances where a bank will require certain repairs to be done even if the buyers are okay to skip it, depending on the type of loan. Step 2 was to do a home inspection. After that home inspection is done, the next step, number 3, is an appraisal. Between the home inspection and the appraisal, that is where most deals fall apart. Especially in such a hot market right now, values are increasing at such a high rate that appraisers a lot of times are trailing behind. Appraisers' job is to evaluate the home based on previously sold properties. The closer to the current date, the better. The closer in location to the current home or property, the better. However, they need to take into account the rate at which properties are increasing. They're trying to tell you, okay, this is what this property is worth. Most buyers get loans, and this step is absolutely crucial and is required when there is a bank loan on the line. If your buyer is buying with cash, some buyers will elect to skip the appraisal, as they are willing no matter what to pay the price that they have offered, regardless of what it's worth. But if there is a bank involved, they will require an appraisal. Now, if that appraisal comes in at the value or higher than what the purchase price is, there is no problem. If it comes in lower and that is not part of it, the buyer and the seller will need to negotiate that between each other, whether the buyer brings in money, whether the seller lowers the purchase price, to something in the middle. If they cannot come to terms, the deal will fall apart. Talk to your real estate agent about what you should do and through this negotiation process. They should be extremely well at sales and know what they would recommend to you to do. That was step number 3. Step number 4 is the final step. It is the close of escrow. The close of escrow breaks down to a few different parts. However, it is the final, the ending, where you buy a new house, right? Where the ownership transfers. The first part is a final buyer walkthrough, right? As close to the end as possible within a couple days. The buyer should walk through the property, make sure it is how they would like it, that nothing has changed from when they made their offer and done those inspections. Of course, we want to avoid any issues where ceiling fans have been taken down, certain appliances were promised to be left and were taken, some damage from the environment, or someone could have broken in and stolen things. So the buyer does a final walkthrough to make sure, okay, if any repairs were also done, that they had been completed to their satisfaction. They are signing off that everything looks good. So the buyer does do a final walkthrough. The next part is the settlement statement. The settlement statement is when the title company, which is holding the earnest money funds and setting up all the paperwork, lays out all the financials in front of everyone. They send a copy to the buyer, to the seller. Everyone needs to look at that, which we will do a deeper video on this because they can actually be difficult to understand, especially if you're not looking at them a lot, to understand how all the money works. But super obviously critical to go through, make sure that you're only paying for the things that you want to pay for and you're getting the amount of money agreed upon. So the settlement statement. Third would be the signing documents. After approving of the financials, there are plenty of documents. Buyers have a lot thicker stack of papers to sign, but everyone needs to sign in front of a notary. Most of the time, this can be done at that local title company where they're already doing all the paperwork. However, if it's remote or you live a little too far, it can be done in front of either a mobile notary coming to your house or a different location near you, or another title company sometimes is hired nearby the signer to set that up. So everything must be signed. The next step would be funding. Funding is when the bank sends the money for the loan. They send that to the title company, which then once they receive that, they hold the money there. Once that funding, they say the loan has funded, that is the bank sending that money to the title company. Once that loan is funded, they can finally go through the very last step and record the transaction. The recording is the transfer of ownership, not the funds being transferred to the title company. Obviously, verification of funds and that they actually arrive is important before the ownership transfers. So once it records, your real estate agent will call you and say, congratulations, you own a house or you have sold your house, right? We have recorded. And at that point, there is a new owner. The title company now has to do their work over the next day or so, dispersing of those funds, and they'll send it out to the seller. Any refunds owed to the buyers, contractors, real estate agents, etc. They'll take care of all of that for you and send money everywhere it needs to go. But at that point, you have bought or sold your house. You have gone through the main 4 steps. You had, please get a written contract, do a home inspection. You're gonna have an appraisal, and then you'll have the close of escrow with all the several pieces. Hopefully that helps, answers a lot of questions. I get asked this all the time. Go over this, rewatch this video as many times as it takes. Hopefully that will help you ease your nerves, get some repetitions in, and answer any questions that you have. Until next time, I'm Carl Kargas. We'll see you then.